Hey, my name's Jason. Welcome to another Magic the Gathering unboxing. This is for Commander Legends, Dungeons and Dragons, Battle for Baldur's Gate, a draft pack. Yeah, super long name. Just to break down a few things on what that is. So, the Commander Legends is a special series I started doing where it focuses on having more legendary characters. It's a way for them to show off a lot more of the different characters of the world of Magic the Gathering, or in this case, the D&D world. It has more cards aimed for playing the Commander mode, which is where you have a legendary character. You kind of sits aside and they're like the figurehead of your deck. And then you build your 100 card deck with no duplicates, so it's a singleton format. Used to be called Elder Head Dragon for older players. So they started making these. I think it might only be the second expansion type for this, but they started doing more sets with this besides just the big, like deck boxes for them, where they had like one starter or deck for them. Started making boosters for the Commander series because it's such a popular format. So it gets you a lot more. Then this is a second D&D set. So this one is based around Baldur's Gate. It's just a different part of the Dungeons and Dragons world. So we get characters from that storyline and universe. Plus just more D&D things, which usually involve dragons and golden treasure cards and dice rolling and dungeon crawling and some different things there. And then the draft pack is the third thing in here to mention. So they, if you've watched any of my more recent videos of Magic, they've split their packs between draft packs and, I think they're called set packs, I think they're called. Basically, draft packs are essentially your original, how game used to be, your 15 cards. Sit down, it's meant for sitting down and playing. They have the regular structured rarity of mostly one rare, 3 uncommons, and then the rest are common. Meant for sitting down, gosh, your draft and your idea of everything. The set boosters have more cards that kind of like at least fit a theme. So you might get more like, hey, if this deck has like white and blue cards, or this pack might have more white and blue cards aimed, or more cards maybe aimed around vampires. It's not going to be 100%, but it tries to theme it better. This big fat box just has 3 packs in it. Otherwise, the packs have the same art. The other difference in this is it actually has each Commander Legend pack in here actually has 20 cards instead of 15. And I think the Legends they started doing it is they start adding more cards in there just because they want to get more out of the drafting, and because these sets are standalone. When you're drafting, you have more chances of getting other things. I'm not sure how that works for the rotation from 15 to 20. But we'll find out. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and crack these open and see what we get in here. Alright, so we have Lightning Bolt. Very common card. Not just the fact that it is a common rarity, but it's been in a lot of different sets. The set symbol here is a little shield with like a star or a sun in it. I love the artwork on here, casting Lightning Bolt down a bridge. Lightning Bolt deals 3 damage to any target. We got our first dragon here. We have the Shardalen Dragon, which is an artifact. It has flying, 4/4, not bad at all. Druid of the Emerald Grove, a dwarven druid. When Druid of the Emerald Grove enters the battlefield, check your library for up to 2 basic lands and reveal them. Then roll a d20, a 20-sided dice. This is where the very Dungeons and Dragons aspect comes in. So if you roll a 1 to 9, put this card into your hand and shuffle. A 10 to 19, put one of those cards into the battlefield, tap to the other into your hand and shuffle. 20, put those cards into the battlefield, tapped, and then shuffle. So it kind of simulates the die rolling is very thing you do in D&D. Whenever you're trying to do stuff, watch time you'll roll die to see what your It's like a skill check, I believe it was called. I might have the terminology wrong. I haven't, I don't play D&D, so I just know it offhand. But I believe it's a skill check. Where you roll a die and you see how well essentially you did on something compared to stats. So the higher the number, the better you do. A 20, which is called a natural 20, is 100% success versus typically a 1 is like a critical failure. But I don't think they wanted to add, a 1, something in between, and a 20 for all these. So basically, like the 1 through 9, generally just get you what the card would normally do. 10 to 19 get you a little bonus, and then if you roll that 20, you're essentially getting a super card. So you have contact the other plane. So roll a d20, either draw 2 cards, scry 2, then draw 2 cards, or scry 3, then draw 3 cards. And scrying first is helpful, and you kind of just see what's coming up. The ingenious artillerist, a human artificer. Whenever one or more artifacts enter the battlefield under your control, ingenious artificer, or artillerist, deals that much damage to each opponent. Nice. Sure, you can help me calibrate the aiming mechanism. Stand over there. That's funny. Parasitic impetuous. It's an aura enchantment. Enchant creature. It's +2/+2 and is goaded. So goaded is a new keyword for this set. Says it attacks each combat if able and attacks a player other than you if able. So it's gonna always basically kind of like reverse taunt, where taunt usually tries to get someone to pull towards you. This is almost like that guy's just always gonna taunt. Whenever an enchanted creature attacks, its controller loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. We have the Pegasus Guardian with the Adventure abilities. This is returning from the Throne of Eldraine. So basically how these work is either I can play this as a 6 cost, 5 colorless, 1 white mana, as a 3/3 flying Pegasus. Or I can play it as the adventure part of this little book down here. It says Rescue the Fowl. I can pay it as a 2 cost instant. It says exile target creature you control, then return that creature card to the battlefield under its owner's control. So it lets me bounce something and put it back, which is helpful for interplay effects or maybe removing stuff from it. Then it says you exile this card and you may cast this later from exile. So basically you play this for a cheaper, either like an instant or something like you get a quick effect or just a spell, instant or sorcery. Lets you do something, and then this card sits in exile. Then you can cast it again later and get the better effect. So it's a neat way to utilize a spell twice. And if we play it as a regular Pegasus, it's flying. At the beginning of your end step, if a permanent you control left the battlefield this turn, put a 1/1 white Pegasus creature token with flying into play. And this is where the abilities work together. So if you can pay all 8 cost, Rescue the Fall, target something, return it, put it back in, then play Pegasus Guardian, you get an extra Pegasus creature as well. A Scaled Nurturer, a Dragon Druid, that's fun, like a Dragon King. Tap to add 1 forest. When you spend this mana, you cast a dragon creature spell, you gain 2 life. I love that there's basically a green card that helps dragons and gets you life. I could definitely see playing that. Run away together. Choose 2 target creatures controlled by different players. Return those creatures to their owner's hands. True love means always knowing when to look what's on others' mind. It's a cellophane, you have mental powers. That's a fun bounce spell though. But again, Commander also has a lot of stuff where you're going to play multiplayer. That says a lot of things are going to target multiple or have options to hit different players. Warehouse Thief, a Tiefling rogue. So Tiefling is a creature from the D&D universe. It probably appeared in the last D&D set. Pay 2, tap, sacrifice a target artifact or creature, exile the top card of your library. Until the next turn, you may play that card. I love this one. The Ghastly Death Tyrant. It's a beholder and a skeleton. Ghastly Death Tyrant enters the battlefield. Choose one. Disintegration rate. Destroy target enchantment and opponent controls. Use life equal to its mana value. Or Death Ray. Creatures you control gain Death Touch till the end of turn. That is super powerful. Scouting Hawk. Flying. Keen Sight, which is a new keyword. When Scouting Hawk enters the battlefield, if an opponent controls more lands than you, search your library for a basic plains, put it into the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. Edder Tap, Spider Beast with Reach, and it's a 2/5, or it has Web Shot, Adventure Instant. Destroy target creature with flying, and exile it. Our first uncommon. Since there's more cards in this set, we're going to get more uncommons. We have Noble's Purse. Noble's Purse enters the battlefield tapped with 3 coin counters on it. Tap, remove a coin counter from Noble's Purse to create a treasure token. It's an artifact that sacrifices artifact. Add 1 mana of any color. I mean, it's alright. I just kind of wonder if some of these cards. So it enters taps. You can't even use it right away. So you have to wait 1 turn. And then it's going to take you 3 more turns to keep creating these tokens. And it gets it cheaper, and since it takes time, they can make the initial card cheaper. I guess on the other hand, would I like that, or would I rather just, pay 3 or 4 just to create 3 treasure tokens, I guess. I don't know. It's an investment. We have Contraband Livestock. Instant. Exile target creature, then roll a d20. On a 1-9, this controller creates a 4/4 green ox token creature. 10-19 creates a 2/2 green boar creature, or a 20 creates a 0/1 white goat creature. This is kind of funny because it's depending on who you're targeting, the critical, the 20, is actually worse. If you're targeting your opponent, let's say they have a giant dragon out, you can turn it into a white goat if you roll a 20, a 0/1, or maybe at least a boar. So that's fun. But on the other hand, if you know you think you can roll low, you could get rid of one of your 1/1 goblins to become a green ox. It's just kind of interesting. We have another dragon. We have the Emerald Dragon. Flying and trample 4/4. Or Dissonant Wave Adventure. Counter target activated or triggered ability from a non-creature source. Our last uncommon is a legendary. I think we're guaranteed at least bare minimum 1 legendary in every deck. So this is Elora the Merry Thief, legendary creature, halfling rogue. Whenever you attack, up to 1 target attacking creature can't be blocked this turn. Return that creature to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. Choose a background. So background is a new mechanic in this game. It says you may have a background as a second commander. So there's a few things in the game that allow you to have a second commander card out. Partner was one of them. So you can have your main legendary character, and then you can have a background, or a partner to work with them. You had some ability that tied to it, and now they're doing backgrounds, so you can have your main character, and then you can have these background cards. So I think you're also going to get a background in every pack. So here we have Flaming Fist, which is a legendary enchantment background. Commander creatures you own have, whenever this creature attacks, it gains double strike till the end of turn. So basically it's going to just give your characters an extra little ability that they might normally not have had. We have our rare card, Astarion's Thirst. Exile target creature, put X/1/1 +1/+1 counters on a commander creature you control, where X is the power of the creature exiled this way. And then we got a foil, which happens to be a uncommon and a dragon, and a legendary dragon. Renar the Merchant of Marbles, a dragon artificer. You may cast dragon spells and artifact spells as though they had flash, which means whenever you can play an instant. And then choose a background. So that's definitely fun there. Got two helpful dragon cards. Then the new thing we have in here are the initiative cards, which are listed 20 of 20. So I don't know if that's tokens or like tokens or extra cards, or if it's dungeon cards. But it says whenever one or more creature a player controls deals combat damage to that player takes the initiative. Whenever you take the initiative and at the beginning of your upkeep, venture into the Undercity. If you're in a dungeon, advance to the next room. If you're not, enter the Undercity. You can take initiative even if you already have it. And then the Undercity is a special dungeon you do. So the first D&D game had some other dungeons. This one has an Undercity. Because you can't enter this dungeon unless you venture into Undercity. So you have to have a card that lets you venture. Secret entrance. Search your library for a basic land card and reveal it. Put it into your hand and then shuffle. So now if we go to the left path, we can go to Forge. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. You can go to Trap. Target player loses 5 life. Or Archives. Draw a card. If we took the right path, we had Lost Well, Scry 2, Stash, create a creature token, or Catacombs, create a 4/1 black skeleton token with menace. In the middle, we have the Arena, gold target creature. And then at the very bottom, the end of our dungeon, we have Throne of the Dead 3. With the top 10 cards of your library, put one creature from among them into the battlefield with a 3/3 +3/3 counters, and gain hexproof until the end of your next turn, then shuffle. So that's kind of fun. Alright, pack number 2. Alright, right off the bat, we have a Marching Duo Drone, Artifact Creature Construct. Whenever Marching Duo Drone attacks, each player creates a treasure token. We have gates to go with Baldur's Gates. We have Cliff Gate. The gate subtype itself doesn't do anything, but there will be various things that will reference gates. So, Cliff Gates enters the battlefield tapped. As Cliff Gate enters the battlefield, choose a color other than red. Tap to add target red or 1 mana of the chosen color. Cloakwood Swarmkeeper, Elf Ranger, Gathered Swarm. Whenever one or more tokens enter the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Cloakwood Swarmkeeper. Now, older Magic games, whenever they had a italicized text with a line behind it, it was a new key phrase, I think they call it, versus a keyword. Keywords are stuff like flying, haste, or goad. It's a word you can say that has a special ability. Key phrases are ones that they tend to have the same type of ability, or like half of its ability. The activation or cost is the same, or maybe they have different activations, but the reward's always the same. They're kind of linked together, but they're slightly different. The D&D sets use these key phrase points to show different spells or abilities that are in the D&D world. So, Gather Swarm might never appear in any other cards. Just you're not looking for it. Sea Hag. It's just a Sea Hag enters the battlefield. Creatures your opponent control gain -4 attack till the end of turn. Or Aquatic Ingress Adventure. Up to 2 target creatures you gain +1 attack until the end of turn and can't be blocked this turn. A Stirring Bard. Now we have a Dragon Bard. Defender. When Stirring Bard enters the battlefield, you take the initiative. So now we're using that initiative there. And Mantle of Inspiration. Tap. Target creature gains menace and haste till the end of turn. Thieves' Tool. A black artifact equipment. When Thieves' Tools enter the battlefield, create a treasure token. Equipped creature can't be blocked as long as its power is 3 or less, and it has 2 to equip. To give it to a small creature and they become unblockable. Marital Impetus. So, this is a second one of those you think might be a cycle. Enchant creature gets +1/+1 and is goaded. Whenever attacked creature attacks, each other creature that attacking one of your opponents gets +1/+1 till the end of turn. Myconid Spore Tender. It's a fungus infesting spores. When Myconid Spore Tender enters the battlefield, it's stripped to 1 target artifact or enchantment. Arakokra Sneak, a bird rogue, flying. When the sneak enters the battlefield, you gain the initiative. Shh, I think I hear goblins, and I can definitely smell them. Ganassi Enforcers, an elemental shaman with Myriad. Says whenever this creature attacks for each opponent other than you defending player, you may create tokens or copy of this creature that is tapped and attacking that player or a planeswalker they control. Then exile the tokens at the end of turn. Pay 2 mana. The creatures you control in game Ganassi Enforcers get +1 till end of turn. So what this is Myriad lets you basically, if you attack, you're playing a 4-player game, you attack the second player, you get to create a token of this creature to attack players 3 and 4 as well. Deadly Dispute. An additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice an artifact or creature. Draw 2 target cards and create a treasure token. Actually, you keep creating all these treasure tokens, having to sacrifice artifacts isn't that big of a deal. Tabaxi Toucaneers, flying and with Myriad. He gets to create duplicates of itself. We have a colorless card called the Faceless One, legendary enchantment creature, and it's a background. If Faceless One is your commander, choose a color before the game. Faceless One is the chosen color, and choose a background. So what's interesting about this is, so with commander and the colors, so whatever legendary creature you pick, you can only make a deck that has colors that support it. So, like in the last set, we had this Renar Merchant of Marbles. If this is my commander, he's blue, I can only play a mono blue deck. Same thing with my Merry Thief. So if you want to use different colors, you have to do different things. Now this one lets you basically have a 3/3/5 cost, one that can be any color. So if you're not as concerned about that, you can have any color deck. You look upon the Terrasque. Choose one, run and hide. Oh, I love these cards. They're kind of like what you do during an adventure. They give you an option, and then now you have to pick what you decide to do. So, run and hide, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to you and creatures you control this turn, or gather your courage. Target creature gets +5/+5, gains indestructible to the end of turn. All creatures your opponent control able to block that creature do so. Inspired Tinkering. Exile the top 3 cards of your library. Until the end of your next turn, you may play those cards to create 3 treasure tokens. What do you mean, how does it work? What an insulting question. We have Modify Memory. Exchange control of 2 target creatures controlled by different players. If you control neither of these creatures, draw 3 cards. It's a fun mess with the other players. Percival's clothes aged and his dinner was unpleasantly wriggly, but the kobold looked like he was having the time of his life. Alright, our rare is we're going to get our legendary creature, which is Dynahair, Invoker, and Depth. So this is a blue, red, and white. So if you play her as your commander, you can use all 3 of them colors in your deck. Haste, you may activate abilities other than creatures you control as though the creatures had haste. Tap. When you next activate an ability this turn by spending 4 or more mana to activate it, copy that ability. You may choose new targets for the copy. Interesting. Yeah. And then we have another background. We have Veteran Soldier. Commander creatures you own have whenever this creature attacks a player. If no opponent has more life than that player, for each opponent, create a 1/1 light soldier that is tapped and attacking that player. We have another rare. Cloud of Seas. Cloud of Seas enter the battlefield tapped unless you have 2 or more opponents. Add 1 white or blue. We have a foil, which is an uncommon. Ghost Lantern costs 1 black. Whenever a creature you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on an equipped creature. Or Bind Spirit, Adventure, turn target creature from your graveyard to your hand. And then we got another initiative card with the same dungeon on the back. Alright, time for our third and final pack. Ooh, right off the bat, we got some fun stuff. So we got Marble Diamond. One of the newer things Magic sets have been doing is they make altered art in their sets. So this, and it kind of themes whatever the set is. So this kind of makes it look like the old paper monster manuals from the old D&D days. Kind of like, not black and white, but like just like tan and white. Or tan and black kind of thing. So it's a Marble Diamond artifact. Marble Diamond enters the battlefield tapped. Tap to add 1 mana. So just a free mana source. We have another gate here. We have the Heap Gate. It just adds 1 colorless mana. Or pay 1 and tap it to add 1 of any color. Or pay 1 to tap untapped gate you control. Create a treasure token. Prophetic Prism. Whenever Prophetic Prism enters the battlefield, draw a card. Tap to add 1 mana of any color. We got a new dragon. We have the Lurking Green Dragon. Flying. Lurking Green Dragon can't attack unless defending player controls a creature with flying. This kind of neat. Kind of just stays down there and defends until it finds a fly and then it comes out and attacks it. Another dragon. Sword Coast Serpent, a serpent dragon. Serpent Coast Serpent, Sword Coast Serpent, which Sword Coast is one of the islands or the coast of off of Baldur's Gate. So it can't be blocked as long as you've cast a non-creature spell this turn. Capsizing Wave, return target creature to its owner's hand. A Reckless Barbarian, I have a Dragon Barbarian. Sacrifice Reckless Barbarian to add 2 red mana. The best defense is not even knowing what defense means. The Wayfarer's Bauble. Pay 2 and tap, sacrifice Wayfarer's Bauble, search your library for a basic land, put that into the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. A Steadfast Unicorn. Pay 4. Creatures you control gain +1/+1 and gain vigilance till the end of your turn. Activate only during your turn. And now this would work really nice with our new legendary we just got, who says, next time you activate an ability by spending 4 more mana, copy that ability and may choose new targets. So if you have her out, you could tap her, and then when you play this ability, so it says creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain vigilance. So now you get to copy that and you get to use it a second time. So that means all your creatures would get 2/2, which isn't, I guess you can't double vigilance, but I mean it's not saying it's the best combination, but it is a combination. Juradic Ritual. You may mill 3 cards, then return 1 creature card and up to 1 land card from your graveyard to your hand. To mill a card, put the top card of your library into your graveyard. Kinu Artificer, a bird artificer, Homunculus Servant. When Kinu Artificer enters the battlefield, put 3 +1/+1 cards on up to 1 target non-creature artifact. That creature becomes a 0/0 Homunculus artifact with flying. Oh, so you basically turn all your treasures into Homunculus. Tiamat's Fanatics, Dragon Warriors. Costs 5, but he has haste, 4/3, and he has myriad. Armor of Shadows. Until the end of your turn, target creature gains +1 attack and gains indestructible. Damage can affect to say destroy, don't destroy it. Guiding Bolt. Destroy target creatures of power 4 or greater. Scry 2. Our first uncommon, we get another alt art and a dragon. Gnax, Astral Hunter. It's also a legendary. Whenever Gnax, Astral Hunter, or another dragon enters the battlefield under your control, create a treasure token and choose a background. The Arcane Signet artifact. Tap to add 1 mana of any color in your commander's identity. So yeah, they started, I know in the original Commander, when they started making the big Commander decks for them, This is one, not this card, but it's a card like this for all the decks. Just how when you want to play multicolor, you got a card that guarantees you have a card that'll help you out. Passageway Seer, a Tiefling Warlock, lifelink. When Passageway Seer enters the battlefield, you take initiative. At the beginning of your end step, if you have the initiative, put +1/+1 counter on Passageway Seer. Our legendary for the game is, or this deck is, Commander Laria Porter? A Healing Soldier, a white and red. Whenever you attack, spells you cast from exile this turn cost X less to cast, where X is the number of players being attacked. Exile the top X cards of your library. Until the end of your turn, you may cast spells from them among the cards you exiled. So this is actually really fun. So your exile cards, which are stuff like the Adventurous cards, are now cheaper for how many players you're attacking. So if you're playing a 4-player game, it will only be 3, because you could use a myriad card. You attack with one of them, it splits out, now you're attacking all 3 characters. Now your other spells become cheaper, so you can cast them adventure cards back a lot quicker. Our backgrounds, we finally got a different color one. We have the Acolyte of Bahamut. A legendary enchantment. Commander, creatures you own have the first dragon spell you cast this turn cost 2 less. So that could be fun. Right now I have, like, just the cards I have that legendary red dragon. And I have this. I don't know if you can mix backgrounds of different colors. That would be the only issue. Otherwise, that'd be kind of fun. We do have a mythic rare, which are like the super, super rare. So this is also cool, because this is card number 212 out of 361. This one just says 367. It's an Ancient Brash Dragon. Creature Elder Guy. It's not even legendary. Whenever Ancient Brass Dragon deals combat damage to a player, roll a d20. If you do, put any number of target creatures with a total mana value of X or less from your graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. X is the result. Nice. We got a Foil Sea Hag, which you've seen before. And our token card. Yep, so the tokens will be number 1 through 20. We just got copy. This token can be used to represent a copy of something else. So that's when you play the mirrored abilities. You can just play, if you have these tokens sitting around, you can throw it in front of each player as just a reminder. Hey, I'm using this ability, there's a copy of this card out. Just a little helpful thing. Don't have to use it, but it's there. Alright, so that was Commander Legends, Dungeons & Dragons, Battle for Baldur's Gate. Yeah, a lot of fun stuff. I like getting all them dragons and the ability to cheaper dragons that help each other out, the Dragon King, essentially. Definitely probably makes me want to pick up some more of this. I wasn't sure if I wanted to get a lot of these or not, because it's still thematically tied in its little tight game. But this might make me want to pick up some more of them just for those cards. Alright, see you guys in the next videos. Bye.